Okay, so our topic for today is all about the carbohydrates, no, which is one of the most important biomolecules or macromolecules in living system. Okay, so for the outline of our topic or discussion for today, first we have the definition of carbohydrates, followed by the classification of carbohydrates, and we have the functions of carbohydrates. Okay, so what is carbohydrates, no? So, carbohydrates is formerly known as saccharides. So, when you remember the term saccharide, no, we are referring to carbohydrates, no? Why is that so? Because, no, the term saccharides is come from the scientific name of the sugar cane, which is saccharum. No, the genus name of the sugar cane is saccharum. That's why the term is saccharides. So the major source of energy in the body. So again, carbohydrates is the major source of energy in the body. No, meaning they serves as the foundation of the energy in the body. No, the reason why we are walking, we are thinking so many things. No, we are doing exercise because we have energy, and that energy is come from the carbohydrates. So carbohydrates is a precursor for many organic compounds such as fats and amino acids. So to make fats and amino acids, carbohydrates is really important. No, they are the precursors. And remember, carbohydrates is an organic compounds, meaning they are composed of carbon element. So again, carbohydrates is a precursor metabolized for the production of fats and amino acids. So next, carbohydrates is composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So always remember this in the structure of carbohydrates. Now we have the presence of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And the term sugar is applied to carbohydrates soluble in water and sweet to taste. So as I've said earlier, carbohydrates come from the sugar cane. No, that's why it's saccharides or saccharum. No, in the genus name of the sugar cane, and that's why they use the term sugar for the carbohydrates. No, and they are soluble in water, meaning they can be mixed, or hydrophilic, and sweet to taste. So that's the definition of sugar. They are sweet. Okay, so the classification of carbohydrates. So first we have monosaccharide. Monosaccharide is the simplest sugar and the basic subunit of carbohydrates. No, always remember the monosaccharide, since they are mono, consist of one saccharide or sugar. That's why they are simplest or the simple sugar, the monosaccharide. No, so and they are the basic unit of carbohydrates. No, because the small unit of carbohydrates is the monosaccharide. So the example of monosaccharide, we have glucose, also known as dextrose. The next we have fructose or levulose, also known as fruit sugar. No, meaning those fruits. The reason why they are sweet because they have the fructose. No, and fructose is a monosaccharide. And then we have galactose is a sugar in milk, or the sugar present in the milk of the animals. Okay, so next we have disaccharide. Disaccharide is consist of two monosaccharide units that are combined. So from the term di means two. No, so there are two monosaccharide units that are combined. So the example are the sucrose, no, which is a combination of glucose and fructose. Remember, disaccharide two monosaccharide units combined, no? So sucrose is a combination of glucose and fructose, no? And sucrose is also known as table sugar. So the sugar that we use in making coffee is a sucrose. Next, we have lactose, also known as the milk sugar. Is a combination of glucose and galactose. Again, lactose is a combination of glucose and galactose. And then we have another example. We have maltose. Maltose, or a malt sugar, no, is a combination of two glucose molecules. So there are two glucose present in the structure of maltose. And then we have polysaccharide. Polysaccharide, also known as glycan, are polymers containing numerous monosaccharide monomers. So basically, the polysaccharide, from the term poly means many, no, there are several monosaccharide units. So those are the starch, glycogen, and cellulose. Starch is a chief storage form of carbohydrates in plants, no? And then we have glycogen, similar to starch but made by animals. So starch is from plants, glycogen is from animals, and then we have cellulose, or the basic components of plants. Okay, so next we have the functions of carbohydrates. Most abundant dietary source of energy. So the reason we have the energy is because of carbohydrates. So all the food that we eat is converted into energy, and that of energy is come from the carbohydrates. Next, carbohydrates participate in the structure of cell membrane and cellular functions. Now, basically, the structure of the cell, now especially in the cell membrane, there are presence of the carbohydrates or sugar units. No, and then we have they also participate in cellular functions, no, as they are the basic source of energy. And next, we have carbohydrates is a synthesis of biochemical substances. No, so to create or to have this production of substance, no, it needs to have carbohydrates. So carbohydrates serves as a prerequisite or the important foundation in making several substances. No, like for example, in the case of fermentation, we use sugar in order to produce several compounds or substances. So next, they helps in keep memory sharp. No, so when you're eating with the presence of carbohydrates, then our memory will be active. And that's all for today. So the references I use are the following. Now, so before we end, let's have our short practical exam. Now, so let's start with number 1. What is the major source of energy in the body? A. Carbohydrates. B. Lipids. C. Nucleic acids. And D. Proteins. So the right answer is carbohydrates. Number 2. What is the carbohydrate reserve of plants? A. Starch. B. Glycogen. C. Cellulose. And D. Glucose. And the right answer is starch. Letter A. Next, which of the following is a composition of carbohydrates? A. Carbon, oxygen, sulfur. B. Nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen. C. Potassium, carbon, and hydrogen. And D. Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So the right answer is C. Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Next, what sugar is the combination of glucose and fructose? Again, know what sugar is the combination of glucose and fructose. A. Sucrose. B. Lactose. C. Maltose. And D. Cellulose. And the right answer is sucrose, or the table sugar. And then last, we have why carbohydrates known as sugar. A. Because they are soluble in water and sour to taste. B. Because they are soluble in water and sweet to taste. C. Because they are insoluble in water and sour to taste. And D. Because they are insoluble in water and sweet to taste. So the right answer is B. Because they are soluble in water and sweet to taste. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching and listening.